what we want. For example, my college fiance that I thought I was going to marry, he said to me at a job interview in his city, our plan is that he was going to finish law school. I was going to finish undergrad. He was going to go and build a law firm in his city and become the mayor, but we were going to do this together. So he was going to go build his law firm up. And when you start out in TV news, you don't start out at CNN or the network. You start at a little podunk news station, right? Carrying your own equipment. And I worked my way up, and I worked really hard to work my way up because he lived in a major city. So instead of going to network news, I was going to work my way up to a top city in that state, which would be a large market, be the main anchor there. I was going to move there, be a reporter. We were going to get married. I was going to move up to anchor. We were going to have children. He was going to run for mayor. And then I was going to be the mayor's wife. I got the job in his city. I got the job. I did my part. I was 26 years old, and they started a network news for our state. And I went there and I interviewed for that job. And at 26 years old, I got that job, which would be the equivalent in that state of being on network news, which was higher than what I wanted. And it happened to open up in his city. It was a new news network that they were building. Went there, did the interview, came out. They flew me in. He came to pick me up. It was in the 90s. He had his little Eddie Bauer expedition. He drives up to come and get me. And I'm thinking, there's my husband. He had designer sunglasses on. He just looked tinted windows. He had a suit on. He'd left the courthouse to come and pick me up. And I look at him and I get ready to get in the car. And we hadn't seen each other for an extended period of time because we lived in two different cities. And he looks up and I'm like, I'm waiting to tell him, our dreams have come true. I got it. We get married to do, move on with our lives. And I get in the car and he just looks at me and I'm thinking he's going to be, hey, honey, how did it go? How did it go? And he just looks back and he takes his sunglasses, looks down at me, puts it back up. And I'm like, I didn't even know what happened. And I just looked at him and I was like, hey, like that. And he's like, yeah, my mama said, you just go move here and make me marry you.
Oh.
And I was waiting for him to say, and I said, no, mama, that's the woman I want to marry. I want to be with her. And I want to. He didn't say anything. And I went, oh, wow. She did that, huh? And so I looked away. Now, we didn't have cell phones in that time. He had to stop to get gas. Moved his Gucci sunglasses or whatever they were, moved them out the way. Phone calls were 50 cents. We were at a 7-Eleven. Got the 50 cents, went over to the payphone and turned down the job. I didn't know nobody in that city. I was 26 years old. I didn't know anybody in that city. I turned down a network news job and took a lesser job in California. And I didn't tell him about that until 3 years ago that I made that decision. When we went on, and as I started to move away from him, I said, I'm getting ready to move to California, and which was way away from where we lived or the state that we lived in. I said, I'm getting ready to move to California. I said, so, what are we going to do here? We need to make some decisions. It's just hard for me to make a decision because, Black men tell me all the time, man, older Black men tell me all the time, man, you young, you good looking, you an attorney, you can get any woman that you want. I said, the woman that you want should be the one that loves you and that you love. Yeah, but it's just hard for me. I went to California, and the end of that story is that in 2021, he called me up crying. He had a heart attack, a stroke. He's on kidney dialysis. He married a white woman with a baby. She took all of his money, and through domestic violence, she ended up having him arrested. He's not practicing law anymore. He's living with his mother. And then he wanted to know, we had such great love back then. Would you ever think about getting married? And so I married him. And we lived happily ever after. Live. I said to him, go, just talk, because I got to let it process, because I just can't even believe that he did it.
So the thing is like they have such audacity that I just wish that we had just a modicum of what they come with, because the fact that he could see how used up he was. He gave the best part of his life to somebody else. And now that he is used up, has no nutrients left in his little banana, if the little banana don't work the way it's supposed to work, now he wants to come and give you all of what he got. And the crazy thing is, they lead so much with their team. They lead so much with it. And then it's like, okay, I need to give this to as many people as I can give it to because I am me. And I need to bless all of y'all with this ping. And then once they are used up, once their organs are failing from the inside out, it's like, okay, cool. Now who can I call up that's going to take care of me?
Well, since you mentioned that little thing of ED, that
Uh-oh.
little thing of ED, I actually did
Uh-oh.
a little research on it. And from the Office of Minority Health, looking through their stats and combining with some others, because you can find stats on anything, but being a journalist and having been an investigative reporter, I combined several stats from several different agencies, and I came up with that men in our community between the ages of 40 and up, I'll say, they have ED. We know what that is. 25 to 50%.
Wow.
25 to 50% of Black men already have ED by the time they get 40.
Wow.
And if
And
you want to look at
that thing
diabetes,
that is not supposed to be working like that. Before she continues, y'all, go ahead and like the live so it'll get into the algorithm even more. But yes,
and you have to
I
forgive me
am
because
like
I'm
I
a
keep saying.
talker. So if you need to just jump in there, if anybody has any questions or anything, yeah, I would love to take those, but you have to cut me off because when I start talking to you, I can't stop talking.
But what's crazy is, like I said, I am 42 years old and I still feel fairly vibrant. I got a little left knee issue, and you wake up and have to do a little extra stretching, but my body's not falling apart. And as Black women, we are aging still like the whole black don't crack type of thing, but their crackation is holleration in this dancery. We are feeling it. They are feeling it. And they can't really say black don't crack anymore.
Well, and that's one of the reasons that, it's really hard, certainly when you get your age and my age, and I know you're married, but when you are an unmarried woman, it's so hard because you're looking at a man and he's trying to talk to you, and you're looking at him, you're like, because their conversation, you can tell the conversation, because man, you can't tell how old somebody is. Let them open their mouth up. I guarantee you I can tell. So I'll be looking at a man and he will walk up and he'll be 52, right? He's sort of like, oh, this 52-year-old guy. And we start talking and having a conversation. I start talking about New Edition and Bobby Brown. And he's like, and then I'll be like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, you must be a youngster. He's 52 in my mind. I'm 32. How long you been walking? 32 years old. Looking like they look as old as me. I'm like, you're 30. You're not supposed to look my age.
Right.
And that's what makes
Selena,
it so hard because they think they can talk to anybody because they can't, obviously they can't tell how old we are, but I'd be
right,
thinking that they old.
right. I do want to say thank you, Selena, for the donation. I appreciate that $9.99. Thank you so much. That'll help, get something for Chrissy because that's my
Oh.
princess. Okay, but yes, they are getting old, and I keep talking about this, but these man boobs are bothering me because they are getting, and they still have the nerve to not wear a shirt. They are still going out. They be running. They tatas be bouncing, and they are not supposed to have bouncing tatas. It's just not how life is supposed to be because they have no reason to have bouncing tatas.
Well, since you mentioned that, one of the things that I was thinking about doing, being an entrepreneur, is coming up with a man bra. It's getting a prototype for a man bra because some of these men, they need to wear bras. You need the cleavage. Like you can't work out if if your nipples are hitting you in the face. And some of them, they are double D's. And so
Right.
I would think that, and I actually have really thought about it, actually did a little sketch of a bra for a man. They need bras, or even like some of you guys, if you're listening, get some like tape. They can get some of that sports tape and wrap it around your chest because nobody wants to see a man with cleavage.
Pull it up. Just pull it up.
Yeah,
And
pull it up.